Hey, what's up? Life Without Pants with another Path of Exile video, and in today's video we're going to talk about a noble quest, which seems to not work at all. We have been spec'd to Scratchin up the ground and a noble quest, and these are part of the expedition wheel here. We've been running a heist and expedition strategy recently. The reason this video came about is I was doing a 100 Alkengo strat with, I think it was growing hordes, and I had these spec'd, and I realized that Dannig almost never showed up. I think it was 100 maps, and we were counting on the natural chance for expedition to spawn. But even then, Dannig spawned like 5 times in 100 maps. That's not very frequent. So we decided to do a proper test. So we did 288 maps with the control group, which is like this. And then we did 288 maps with these on. And we recorded the results. I've got lots of pieces of paper here with numbers etched in them. And I can tell you the results. So for the first, so in between the control and the experimental group, for Gwenon, in the control group, she turned up 79 times out of 288, which is 27.4%. And then in the new one, she turned up 59 times out of 288, which is 20.5%. Then Rog appeared 81 times in the first time in the experimental group, in the control group rather. So that was 28.1% spawn rate. And then in the experimental group, he turned up 65 times. That's 22%. So Rog and Gwenon both went down, and that's what you would expect if Tujen and Dannig are showing up more frequently. In the control group, Tujen showed up 75 times, which is out of 280 is 25%. And in the new one, he turned up 114 times. Now it's gone from 25% to 39.6, maybe 40%, something like that. But this is 90%. I kind of like, I'm sure there's a really good maths reason why 25%, when you have a 90% increased chance to be led by Tujen, 25% does not translate into roughly 50%-ish. Because this, in my mind, if you've got a 90% increased chance to be led by Tujen, that's almost double. So you should be going from 25% to 50%-ish. But he's gone from 25 to 39.6. So it seems a bit off. But then Dannig, this one, a noble quest, he went from 53 appearances in the control group, that's 18.4%, and then to 50 in the experimental group, when he's supposed to be turning up 65% more frequently, or increased chance. So he's gone from 53 to 50, so he's gone from 18.4% to 17.4%. So it's gone down. I don't think this works at all. I think this node is... I wonder how long it's been like this. This sucks. I've been using this node a lot. I want to know. We're going to talk about the loot that we got in just a second. So obviously we got a bunch of loot over here, and I've got a spreadsheet because I know everybody loves spreadsheets. Oh, I didn't include all the random contracts. Well, it's like 500C. So for the we got all these reroll currencies here. So for Dannig, you have you'll get on per expedition. So this is per Dannig-led expedition. You'll get 3.5 burial medallions on average. We were optimizing when we did that. I'm not going to show you a map because I think you can look in the description below. I'll have the previous video where we did the 288 control group. This is the experimental group, so the previous one is going to be linked below. You can go and look at that, and I've got an example of the map in that. We just basically optimize for logbooks, and that's about it. If we see stacked decks or something nice, we'll go for that, but it's purely logbooks that we're looking at. We're running with a polished expedition scarab, we're running with a polished cartography scarab, a sacrifice fragment, and a rusted sulfite scarab. So we get the Nicotech over here. As you can see, we've got a bunch of chaotic resonators. We got just over 600 here, I guess. Oh no, 500? Something like that. Quite a lot of these. Oh, we can actually look at the excellence. It'll tell us exactly right in here. We've got 448 of those over 288 maps. So take what you will from that. But For Dannig, yeah, 3.5% on average burial medallions. For Tujen, on average 4 exotic coins per appearance of Tujen in the map. For Rog, the scrap metals, we got 3.5 on average. And for Gwennen, 10.5. You get 10.5 on average Astragali per Gwennen appearance. We only got 59 appearances, so around 60, and we got 628 Astragali. You get so many Astragali. I mean, it's always been this way. It's always been this way. You've always got a million Astragali from Gwennen since 315. You've always had loads of Astragali. It's always been super heavily weighted towards her. We also did a bunch of, we got a lot of heist stuff as well. So we got lots of unusual gems, blueprints. We got lots of experimented replicas, etc., etc., etc. These are all deception contracts. My gosh. I think if I have my stats over here somewhere, yeah, we got about 2,500 chaos just in deception contracts. They're going quite expensive right now. Almost 300k in rogue markers. Quite a few fully revealed blueprints. The last in the experiment in the control group we did, because we're taking the node on the tree for, I think it's over this one over here. Yeah, blueprints that drop on your maps have a 10% chance to be fully revealed. In the control group that we did, we had, I think, 4.5% dropped fully revealed, and in this group, I think it was like 9%, something like that. We got around what I'd expect. So these are all deception contracts, apart from these, which are priceless contracts. We got a ton of money out of this. These are just regular contracts. You can sell these for 1C each if you want. There's a lot of stuff in here. There's basically no deception or priceless stuff in here. So there's lots of like the other ones that people value, like perception level 1 to 3, counter thaumaturgy level 1 to 4. Those things. Those all are in here as well. I haven't counted. I've been very conservative when counting the profits from this strategy. Also, I just didn't count anything in here. I realized I just forgot. These are the maps we got. These are some of the maps we got. This is the cash that we got as well. These are very, very liquid currencies. And then these are the other, this is the extension of the liquid currencies. And these, I don't think we counted these Shaper, Elder, Guardian maps. We didn't count any of these Conqueror maps either. The logbooks we got were nuts. We got 29 Knights of the Sun, 66 Black Scythe, and then 30 Rogue/Gwennen ones. 7 Orbs of Annulment, 5 Divines, and 2 Exalts. So quite a few T0 currencies or T1 currencies. These Expedition Logbook, I didn't count these either, but these have bosses in, so Medved, Fellow of Heroes in these two, and then I think this one is Varana. So those are worth a bit more. I'm not sure if that, yeah. Oh, this is worth 1 Divine. Well, I didn't count it at all. We also got a Memory of the Sacred Grove, which I think is like 1.5 Divine, something like that, yeah. So all in all, it was around, this is not exactly just for liquid currency because it also includes maps, but I have a, oh yeah, here's the bug report we made. So this is the previous one, 94.1C, I think, profit per map, something like that. I think this is actually, yeah, this is correct. And then for the new one with, and this is just with Tujen turning up more frequently, because Dannig clearly is not, we got a lot more money. But then I guess Divines are a different price now. I think several of these things have changed in price as well. So Deception contracts, I think, have gone up from 15 to 18C, something like that. I was very, very conservative in pricing all of these, but contracts, we got 2,500 chaos in. Blueprints, almost 4,000. Markers was 2,000. Maps was 2.5-ish. Logbooks, around 6,000 chaos. Refresh currencies around 6,000 chaos as well, and then just liquid, just general liquid currency. So it brings us all to around 35,000 chaos, which is around 130 divines. Now, I'm not a huge fan of doing divines per hour because I don't think it's a super useful indicator of these. It takes my build 3.5 minutes on average to do a map, but This is the average money you make. And I think this is the most important thing. You make around 100C profit per map with this. If you do 3.5 minutes, let's just do 3.5 times 288 is 1008. And if we divide that by 60, that's 16.8 hours. So like if you wanted to no life this strategy, like you just focus purely on this, you don't drink water, you don't eat, you don't go to the bathroom, nothing like that, then you can make 130 div in a day. It's not optimal. You should probably go outside and touch some grass at least once during that session. But you could, you can pull in this kind of money if you really, really want to commit to it. Obviously, there's a little bit of setup time with, buying 288 atoll maps and rolling them. My gosh. But this is what we got. I'm a little bit sad that this node just doesn't work at all. We submitted a bug report, as I showed you, so hopefully we'll see it in patch notes soon that a noble quest now works. I'm going to unspec this now, because I don't think there's any point in having it. Got another point for my tree. But yeah, this has been a very interesting experiment. Am I going to do it again? No. I'm going to do something even more dumb, I think. I'm in the middle of trying out maybe 1,000 Tujen rerolls to discover the chances of getting a divine in the vendor refresh window. That I think I can do. Maybe I'll do 1,000 unusual gem blueprint windows. Maybe. Who knows? But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you spec out of a noble quest as soon as you watch this video, because there's no point in having it if you do have it spec'd. But yeah, I hope you're kind to everyone you meet. I love it all very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.